he gets all the Infinity Stones.
He can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
We just got back from seeing Infinity Wars, the biggest movie of the year.
Wow.
Okay, the first minute or so of this video is just gonna be a summary. The rest of the video is gonna be all spoilers. We're gonna explain to you why we thought this movie was pretty fucking bad, pretty trashy fart. So the first minute will be spoiler free for you. This movie felt like nothing. It felt like a collage of every other Marvel movie that's come out before, including the previous Avengers movies. I didn't feel like this movie had a real identity to it. It did, technically speaking, sure, but it just felt soulless. It felt like a reminder of older movies.
This whole movie is like one big action scene, but the action is even good, and there's no feeling and no heart in the action. It's just a lot of punching and throwing and nothing.
Terrible CGI. The CGI was fucking ridiculous. Sometimes looked decent. Thanos looked good, even though he's fucking Purple Thumb and just Josh Brolin and no longer Thanos.
It's not even Thanos. It's literally Josh Brolin with pumped up biceps.
Besides his CGI, anytime it showed Tony Stark or Spider-Man or anyone in a suit and it's just their head, it looked terrible. I thought there was like a floating head. It looked so fucking bad. It made me cry.
It looked awkward almost because all the suits are so tight and their heads just look so fucking big.
Like disproportionate.
Suit. It was so weird to look at.
Especially Spider-Man when he gets his new Iron Spider suit. Oh my god, it looks so bad. Like,
Mr. Stark.
You have billions of dollars, man. Why the fuck are movies from like 2004 looking better than this movie? Thanos as a villain was fine, even though I didn't really care for him. You understand his motives near the end.
I think Marvel and Feig are depending on us to know the history of Thanos and his history with the Avengers and the Marvel universe. So they're just not explaining him because they're hoping and depending that we just already know that he's the OG villain of Marvel. There was no directing, there was no writing, there was no plot, there was no character development, there was no cinematography. It was all green screen.
Yep.
Acting was whatever. It did its job. It doesn't fucking matter. It got through the movie.
Yeah.
So all that technical shit, it wasn't in here.
Just a production line. These movies are just a production line, and I thought this movie would be different, but it wasn't. It was literally a culmination of all the previous production lines flattened into one giant collage production line film.
With a shitload of tone shifts because
so many tone shifts.
Each of these, the Guardians, Iron Man, Thor, Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Strange, they all their movies have their own tone. So when you put those in a fucking tornado of movies, you just get a fucking tornado tsunami. It just fucks everything.
It literally felt like when it cut to Guardians, like, oh, this is a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And then it just cut to Thor. Oh, this is a Thor movie now. Oh, it's an Iron Man movie. There was no merge. It just felt pieced together like a fucking collage. We keep on saying this movie was a collage. Fuck.
So with a movie like this and how unprecedented it is with the budget and the cinematic size, you cannot call this just an average film because it's unlike any other film released ever in cinema. Either it was great and it did its job and they did a very good job, or it was shit and they did a fucked up job and ruined everything. You cannot sit in the middle, you must pick a side.
Yeah, this is Civil War, baby. We're bringing it back. Bringing back the Civil War. You're the Tony Stark, Captain America. You're the good or you bad in this movie. Just me sitting in the chair watching this movie, my enjoyment. There was small moments here and there where I was laughing and smirking. This is great. I saw the potential of what could have been, but the whole movie is just a jumbled mess. And the ending is so cheap. Everything technically, like Reece said, is just average at best. The CGI was all over the place. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was god fucking awful. Sometimes the acting was good, sometimes it was god fucking awful. Sometimes the script was good, sometimes it was god fucking awful. It was just a fucking messy collage of shit and doodle drops and piss and fart.
It has slightly more right to call itself Infinity War than, let's say, Civil War had the right to call itself in Civil War.
True.
It had little bits, references that, gave me hope for what could be. It's basically like the movie whispered to me, we could be so much better. I don't want to hear that they don't have the budget to have a space battle at the fucking Palace of Death. Like, that sounds so much fucking cooler than a fucking Wakandan CGI army fighting in the fucking dirt. I saw the potential, but they just shat on that potential and then pissed on it and then raped it.
Okay, now we get to the spoilers. Spoiler time, spoiler time, spoilers. Okay, a lot of They're gonna be fucking stupid and spoilery. We'll start with my favorite character of all time. They just ruined Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland's a good Spider-Man. Like, take away the script and everything. He has the look, he has the attitude, all that's great. But his character's so fucking rushed. In this movie, he's already fighting Thanos. He's been Spider-Man for what, 2 years now, maybe? Remember in Homecoming where he just couldn't fucking swing a web, and now he's back to swinging webs like he was in Civil War. He's somehow gained his combat ability. His combat prowess has returned to fighting one of the craziest villains of all time. He does a great job. He barely gets hurt, and it's fantastic. Actually, oh shit, I fucking hated this Spider-Man. I hate this movie.
And also, speaking on him fighting Thanos, like if you use some logic, he got his ass whooped by Vulture, but then he was getting, some decent hits on Thanos. So by that logic, Vulture should be able to fucking destroy Thanos.
They should have called him back from prison.
Michael Keaton.
Where's Michael Keaton? This is bullshit. Like, oh, he's been practicing, he's been training. For what? A month? Half a year?
What was he was training for this?
To go into space and act like it's nothing? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. This Spider-Man.
I'm in space.
It's such trash.
Let's talk about Hulk. Actually, let's talk about Bruce Banner, because
there
really was no Hulk.
Hulk showed up in the beginning.
Hulk was there in the beginning. He got his ass whooped by Thanos.
And the rest of the film is just him crying like a bitch.
Hulk refuses to come out.
I don't want to come out.
Like Mark Ruffalo or Bruce Banner's like, come on, Hulk, buddy, it's time to come on out. Like, he's talking to Hulk like they're best friends and talk all the time. And Hulk literally like swells up into his head
like a balloon.
No! And then goes back down into his stomach. And Bruce Banner's like, why, buddy? Why? What the fuck? They give him Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor, and Mark Ruffalo handles it like a fucking champ. Like, he's like, I'm getting the hang of it, and the next scene, he's just
shooting rocks.
He's so good at the suit. But then he takes his little helmet off and retracts it back.
The worst CG in the movie. Right at the end when people are dying, you just see Mark Ruffalo in the background just floating in like his head.
It was so weird and uncomfortable to look at. It's just the Hulkbuster and then this little fucking dude in the neck. It's like, take my head off and have like a little midget pop out of my neck. And that's what it fucking looked like.
Let's just talk about the ending real quick. It was so cheap. It was so fucking cheap and stupid. If anyone thought that was a good ending, you might as well just close your eyes, get a gun, pull the trigger. You are now the production line. Congratulations, you fucking moron.
How does that fucking feel?
You really think Spider-Man's actually dead? You really think any of these characters dead?
Yeah, you honestly think the entire Guardians of the Galaxy besides Rocket is dead?
We have a whole fucking timeline of their movies.
Until like 2025. Every single death in this movie, not one death was different than what I'm about to say. None of them had any heart or any emotion whatsoever.
The closest one was Gamora, but we don't care about Gamora and Thanos.
From Guardians of the Galaxy, we get the perspective from Gamora. She hates Thanos, and the way she talks about him, he treated her and her sister Nebula like fucking shit and made them attack each other and try to kill each other. And he like beat them and fucking raped them and murdered them and brought it back to life and murdered them again. But then in this fucking movie, like, they look like they have a strong bond. They just had some issues down the road.
Yeah.
Like, she had daddy issues, but he fucking loved her. He just didn't know how to raise her properly because she was adopted and he killed her entire world. Half of her entire world.
He's doing her a favor.
I got the world.
Now they're all fucking fat and eating a lot of food.
Out of nowhere, Thanos is just crying because he apparently loves Gamora so much.
Even Star-Lord, when he hears it, he gets mad and he just forgot him.
Yeah, he gets mad. He's like, take it back! And then that's the most emotion we get. Take it back!
That's the love of your life. That's it. You're not gonna go Pac-Man on his ass? No.
Seriously.
Fucking moron. No. Doctor Strange was nerfed to shit. Vision was nerfed. Vision didn't do shit in this movie.
Vision's been nerfed ever since fucking Age of Ultron.
Since he was created, he was really strong for about...
Vision is one of the fucking strongest characters in Marvel, and ever since his creation as a robot in Tony Stark's underpants, he was nothing.
He's nothing now, man.
Absolutely.
That whole subplot with him and Scarlet Witch is
forced. So I don't buy it. Like they kind of set up in Civil War because he's like a house dad making her fucking food, and then this one they're just banging in the fucking in Scotland.
Yeah.
I think that relationship is the least I've ever cared about a relationship in the history of movies.
Yeah. It's up there with the fucking Finn and
Finn and that Asian shit.
I already forgot her name. She was so poorly written and
so fucking forgettable. Oh, one positive from this, not the Dark Order, Thanos' helpers, but that one
Squidward.
Squidward, yeah, Squidward. He's very calm in demeanor. That guy was actually pretty cool. I liked him. His dialogue was pretty interesting too. Congratulations, you have been chosen to die.
Too bad he died.
Yeah, he actually died.
In a stupid way too.
You ever seen that old movie Aliens?
Actually make War Machine crippled. Don't make him fight again. Actually give Thor a missing eye. Don't give him a stupid fake eye. Just make him actually have some damage to him, you know? Like, I needed to be gripping my chair. My asshole needed to be sweating in this movie, but it wasn't. The action scenes were so mundane, so average. There's nothing. It's forgettable. Like, I'm already forgetting a lot of this movie. I'm trying to remember it to talk shit about it, but I can't talk shit about stuff I don't remember.
All I remember from this movie is a lot of like punches being thrown, and then in the middle of it all, just a pink guy that walks around and talks, and he looks a lot like Josh Brolin.
Captain America was a waste of space and time. He didn't really do anything.
He barely had dialogue.
Whatever.
I don't like how important they seem to make Scarlet Witch in these movies.
She looks bored. Like, she's bored with herself in these movies. Like, she doesn't even want to be in these movies.
Her accent is completely gone. She doesn't have it anymore. It's gone.
Yeah.
Ever since she lost her brother, she just dropped her culture.
Iron Man, he did the most, I guess, in this movie. This movie even, like, had the balls to introduce new characters, like fucking Peter Dinklage as him times 10.
Peter Dinklage is definitely one of the most redeeming factors from this movie. He's Peter Dinklage as a giant midget.
Yeah. What an oxymoron.
And you could tell. You're like, it's like compared to Thor, he's big, but you could still tell he's very much a midget. His little legs running around.
But they weren't little, but they were.
Yeah,
like,
right?
oh my god, what the fuck? Iron Man's new suit doesn't explain how it was made or all these new abilities.
God,
he just has all these new equipment.
He said, what do you say, nanotechnology, nano fusion?
I guess. I mean,
Is that a new suit that can do literally anything you want to? Yeah, it's nano. There's some obsolete characters in this movie. Falcon, War Machine, the Winter Soldier. He literally.
I forgot about him actually.
Yeah, he was just. You saw him in a couple scenes, and that was fucking it.
Yeah, and then he dies.
I think those are the three like bigger characters that weren't anything.
Only 3 people actually died in this movie. I'm pretty sure. Gamora, Loki, possibly. I'm pretty sure he's actually dead, and the Gatekeeper, Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
I feel like Loki will only stay dead if there's not like fan outcry. Which I hope he stays dead because honestly, he's like one of the worst villains ever.
And when he died, Thor doesn't even fucking care. His death is forgotten. Thor himself, he's like, he's died before. Literally.
I think this time it might be for real.
Oh, that's it.
Let's go get my hammer.
The last half of this movie was just centered around Vision pretty much and keeping him safe. So just filler to show some more fight scenes because he literally just gets kidnapped and he dies and then Thanos comes and reverses time because he fucking can do that without knowing how to do it. He just gets it instantly and just knows how to do the sign. There's moments in the movie you're like thinking like, why didn't they do that? Like, why did they do it like this? And that's when you can tell the movie just has a really bad script.
I feel like when they were making this movie, they didn't care. They knew they were going to make their money. All they needed for the actors to do was show up. They didn't have any heart. They didn't have any soul. You can tell that this was purely a financial situation, and all they wanted to do was make money. Like, that's all Marvel is anymore. They aren't making movies for the fans. They're making money for themselves.
Checking reviews and people are raving about this movie. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, this movie has no soul.
It's like getting to the point where even these professional actors can no longer put on this fake face of being a hero. Robert Downey Jr. wakes up every morning, he's like, I fucking hate my life, but I'm so rich that I'm gonna keep living it. Sometimes a villain can make up for the faults in a movie, but this is not the case. This movie is sucking the soul out of me.
It hurts my head thinking about
I'm starting to lose the will to live, just like everybody in this film.
That's it. We just got out of watching this movie, so we probably miss a lot of details, and all of our thoughts aren't maybe completely detailed as much as we maybe want them to be, but these are our thoughts right after the film. I'm surprised by how many people like this movie. I'm hoping this movie turns out to be like how Last Jedi turned out to be. Really good praise for the first week, and then people look back on it and be like, this movie was actually fucking trash.
I highly doubt it will.
And, you know, Marvel has those hardcore fanboys who just defend anything Marvel spits out at them. Let us know what you thought. Reece and I are tired. We need to sleep. We haven't slept in about 4 weeks now.
Yeah, ever since I bought my pre-sale ticket for this movie, I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
And I bought it 4 weeks ago. So I'm pretty tired.
And hungry.
Tired and hungry.
Till next time, okay?
Yeah, bye.
Let the body heat rise. What? Make these boys sweat. Oh, I got fucking nothing. We got shitted on. We're covered in shit. Why?